Cable Bahamas Limited became a VAT registrant and is mandated to charge and collect VAT on behalf of the government of the Bahamas. Effective January 1st, 2015, VAT will be added at a rate of 7.5% on all your rev services. As a result, VAT will be included on all your statements beginning January 2015, and you will be required to pay your bill in full inclusive of the VAT. To learn more about the inclusion of VAT on your rev services, visit cablebahamas.com/VAT.
After months of delays, the long-awaited critical care block at the Princess Margaret Hospital is officially open. Senator Heather Hunt resigns from her post after a request from the opposition leader. The Supreme Court extends the injunction against Malia hotel workers, barring them from industrial action. And the nation's top students recognized at a special awards ceremony. We've got those stories and more coming up tonight. I'm Dana Smith, and NV12 starts right now. Topping news tonight, after months of delays and controversy, the new critical care block at the Princess Margaret Hospital has been commissioned. During the months leading up to today's commissioning, there were numerous challenges and delays, including the lack of funding for essential technology. But today, officials are marking the beginning of a new era for the country's oldest hospital. Kyle Joaquin reports.
On November 2nd, 2009, the Public Hospitals Authority launched what officials call their most ambiguous assignment to date, the construction of the new critical care block. And with that new block commissioned today, it will now serve as the new main entrance to the Princess Margaret Hospital. More than a year since its original date for completion, the critical care block of the Princess Margaret Hospital has been commissioned. Scores of officials and members of the healthcare community gathered for the ceremony just outside the new facility. For months, there was no telling when the block would be opened, as the PHA awaited furniture and equipment for the building. But today, Health Minister Dr. Perry Gomez says the commissioning of this new facility marks the beginning of a new era for healthcare in the Bahamas.
This accomplishment looms large. This is health system strengthening at its best. There will be other works beginning shortly to continue the process of health system strengthening in our archipelago, throughout the archipelago, because we'll be strengthening and improving the facilities for our public health clinics, both in Nassau and the Family Islands.
The facility has a new central sterile department, 18 recovery beds, and 20 private intensive care unit rooms. The new block also has 48 neonatal intensive care unit beds, new laboratory facilities, and a disabled-friendly main entrance. Managing Director of the PHA, Herbert Brown, admitted that credit for the new block must be given to both the previous and the current government for ensuring that the much-needed state-of-the-art facility reached completion.
This facility will and must be more than bricks and mortar, wood and nails. The impact of the services provided therein must transcend the physical structure and reach the lives of thousands of people across our beloved Bahamas.
The critical care block boasts 6 state-of-the-art operating theaters with modern technology, including the latest in surgical tools and equipment. It also offers 18 recovery beds, as well as 20 ICU rooms with all of the modern amenities, including private bathroom facilities. The critical care block will also offer 48 neonatal intensive care unit beds and brand new laboratory facilities located on the basement level.
At the beginning of last year, scandal rocked the PHA when its managing director was suspended pending an investigation into the alleged mishandling of a multi-million-dollar bond. He was later reinstated, and later on in the year, in October, the PHA formally accepted 4 audits that examined the affairs of the PHA after they were leaked to the media. The Ingram administration broke ground on the new project in November 2011 and was expected to be completed no later than June of 2013. Now, finally, a bit of positive light is shed on the new Public Hospitals Authority with the opening of the new block. The People's Republic of China recently donated more than $570,000 worth of new state-of-the-art medical equipment and supplies to the hospital. At one point last year, the facility obtained a $35 million loan from CIBC First Caribbean International Bank for equipment and furniture. Prime Minister Perry Christie said though the total cost of the new block neared $100 million, $50 for construction and $45 for medical equipment, the health of the country's people is worth it.
We've heard people measure this and its meaning and whether this is the best in the region. But I believe this compares from the point of view of the physical edifice with anything built in the United States of America. I think so. And it is a reminder of how far we have come in terms of the level and quality of health care that is available in our public institutions. It comes at a cost, but in terms of the benefits and the quality of care which this facility will provide, I believe that the benefits will far outweigh the cost.
At one point, Christie even shared a laugh with former Prime Minister Hubert Ingraham as he jokingly shared the statement, "Some sow while others reap."
Former Prime Ministers, with the greatest of pleasure. When I look at you, acknowledge your presence, thank you for your presence, and to say to you, this is an extension of the democracy that you and I have both served.
The new critical care block will now serve as the main entrance to the Princess Margaret Hospital. Reporting for NB12, I'm Kyle Joaquin.
Attorney Heather Hunt announcing today she has resigned from the Senate at the request of the opposition leader, Dr. Hubert Minnis. She said in a statement, Dr. Minnis is moving to implement a plan announced at the appointment of F&M senators in 2012. At that time, he advised the public and his appointees that appointments to the Senate would be for a period of 2.5 years. In a statement of his own on Hunt's resignation, Minnis explained his policy of periodically reviewing the membership of the Senate will allow as many persons to serve as senators as could do so. He said he spoke with Hunt this morning and she agreed to tender her resignation. Minnis added, I wish to thank Senator Hunt for the outstanding and important role that she played in the Senate during the past 2.5 years plus, and generally as an emerging young leader in our country. I look forward to Senator Hunt's continued support and her serving at a high level in the next F&M administration. Hunt, who ran in the Marathon constituency during the last general election but lost to Education Minister Jerome Fitzgerald, said she is now focusing again on the Marathon constituency with an eye on 2017 and fully expects to enjoy the support of her leader for her nomination. Senator Kwesi Thompson was appointed to the Senate at the same time as Hunt, but there has been no announcement of his resignation. When contacted and asked whether the public should expect Thompson's resignation, Minnis declined to comment at this time. The government side of Parliament last night voted against Montague MP Richard Lightbourne's call for the appointment of a select committee to investigate the circumstances surrounding then Acting Attorney General Jerome Fitzgerald's controversial decision to issue a nolle prosequi in a case involving illegal gun and ammunition possession charges back in 2012. Lightbourne said if House members voted against a select committee, that only sends a message the Christie administration would sweep anything under the rug to support friends, family, and lovers.
I would have thought and expected that the members opposite would wish to find, to support this application. Because if they do not support this, then that would send a clear signal to the entire country that they would sweep anything under the carpet to support friends, lovers, and so I would call upon this House, Mr. Speaker, to approve this appointment.
Back in December 2012, Marathon MP Jerome Fitzgerald, acting as Attorney General, decided to discontinue a gun case against Janice and George Hales, a couple who pleaded not guilty to allegations they had a loaded gun in their home. Current Attorney General Allison Maynard Gibson had represented the defendants at their arraignment. Fitzgerald made the controversial decision to issue a nollie while both Maynard Gibson and her junior minister Damian Gomez were out the country. Fitzgerald's decision to discontinue the case has grabbed headlines in the past, with members of the opposition questioning his move and calling for further clarification. Last night, Lightbourne explained a select committee is needed to look into the matter because it seems to him the circumstances under which the nollie was issued are of major concern.
In what circumstances can you imagine that an acting attorney general can go into an office and would somehow, in the few minutes that he is in the office, go into the Attorney General's office, where no doubt there are hundreds, perhaps thousands of cases sitting there, and somehow his eyes would rest on one case, one file, which was probably hidden under the hundreds of files in that office, and determine that that file should be looked at, and look at that file, and then decide that that matter involved
numbers,
and come to the determination that that matter was something which should be put under the carpet.
State Minister of Legal Affairs Damian Gomez took to his feet to respond to Lightbourne. He said a select committee investigation would be an indirect way of controlling what happens in the Attorney General's office, which is forbidden by the Constitution. Gomez said it is very dangerous for politics to be interjected into prosecution, and the opposition's position is improper.
in the exercise of the decision to prosecute or not to prosecute, the Attorney General is not under the control of any other authority. In essence, what is being advanced by the loyal opposition is quite improper, because what is being invited is the intrusion into the prosecutorial system of politics. Right. That is what, in essence, this House is being invited to do. This is a very dangerous thing to be advancing in our society.
Gomez said such matters are simply not to be delved into by the House of Assembly. He voiced his opposition to Lightbourne's motion and urged governing members to join him in voting against it. Responding to this, Lightbourne said the opposition has every right to ask for it, as Parliament is the supreme authority in the country and not the Attorney General's office. House Speaker Dr. Kendall Major spoke on the issue before taking a vote, seemingly agreeing with Lightbourne's latter comment. He said there will be no sweeping under the carpet from him, and the House is bound to debate any matter, though he noted there are unique circumstances.
Certainly there would be no sweeping under the carpet from this chair. And the Constitution is, in fact, the final authority. But this House has the right and the responsibility to air any matter of national import. Notwithstanding, member for South Udutru, what Article 78 says, the House still is duly bound to debate any matter. There are unique circumstances and certainly precedents from other parliaments where matters like this have been debated. And perhaps in future, because of the sensitivity of the matter, a meeting of the minds of the leaders would have avoided this unusual occurrence today. In that case, now we'll move to the motion at hand.
Every government member of Parliament that was present, including the Prime Minister, opposed the motion for a select committee to be appointed. The motion did not pass. The Royal Bahamas Police Force is investigating a series of sex tapes posted to the internet. Their investigation began after one woman made an official complaint. The videos showing a man believed to be a police officer having sex with numerous women were posted to social media. Members of the public also posted some of the videos on the Central Detective Unit's cybercrime Facebook page. They were later removed. Head of the CDU, Chief Superintendent Paul Roll, didn't have very much to say on the matter and would not confirm the man is a police officer. However, he said whoever the man is, if it is found he committed an offense, he would be arrested. Bahamar Vice President of Administration and External Affairs Robert Sandy Sands today revealing the Supreme Court has extended an injunction barring strike action at the Malia Resort until February 11th. Bahamar executives are in a standoff with hotel union officials over gratuity payments for workers.
We had no choice but to withhold these gratuities and paying an overinflated rate until we could get the parties back to the table, having been at this for in excess almost a year in trying to negotiate an arrangement.
Last week, the union held a successful strike vote and indicated while strike action was not the immediate intent, unionists felt like they had more bargaining strength because of it. But Sands says a strike is not the answer.
We are very concerned that this protracted arrangement suits no one, and a resolution, which is easy, by the parties coming to a table and to agree, can resolve this immediately.
Malia officials want to eliminate gratuity payments as part of their plan to become an all-inclusive resort. They've been holding all-inclusive gratuities for employees in an escrow account to be paid out immediately upon resolution of this dispute. The union has branded that action unfair and unacceptable. They want gratuities to remain in place. Sands stressed today this is not about reducing gratuity.
The likelihood is that the overwhelming majority will be taking home more, but some may take home less. And that's the key. The likelihood that the overwhelming majority will take home more, but some may take home less. The other important thing is that there may be a more equitable distribution of that gratuity.
Speaking candidly, he says in a situation like this, neither side wins.
I also want to go on the record to say to you this morning that there are no winners in this arrangement. Nobody benefits with this particular stalemate.
Thousands more businesses have registered with the Value-Added Tax Department, surpassing officials' original expectations of 4,000 businesses. This as the VAT Department has reportedly issued hundreds of letters to businesses with infractions. Jasmine Brown has more in this report.
Officials revealed today that the number of registrants they initially expected has been exceeded by nearly 3,000 businesses.
To date, over 6,688 businesses have registered for VAT.
In July last year, Financial Secretary and VAT Comptroller John Roll said the government had 4 months to register 4,000 businesses with the Value-Added Tax Unit before the start of 2015. Davis says the increase in registrants is mostly attributed to more businesses obtaining business licenses as well as other reasons.
So in terms of voluntary registrants, yes. And there has also been a number of persons who weren't necessarily on the business license register to begin with, who have now registered, in particular professional services.
Davis says the VAT Department has been closely monitoring for infractions and added that they have already had hundreds of infractions reported.
As we have been informed, there have been hundreds of letters that have been disseminated for infractions. Infractions can range from minor to serious to very serious.
Davis says the fact that the VAT Department is acting quickly is reassuring.
It just speaks to the fact that the government is trying to move in real time as relates to any infractions and any persons who are found in contravention of the law.
Since VAT was implemented on January 1st, the task force has been on a media blitz receiving feedback from the public. Reporting for NB12, I'm Jasmine Brown.